Of all the different musical styles and trends that have come and gone over the decades, few, if any, are more vital yet constantly overlooked as the no-wave scene that emerged in New York City in the late 1970s. The term actually originated during an art show in 1981 from Diego Cortez called New York No Wave, and many argue that the key to the no-wave movement is that it's impossible to define. The term no-wave became the official title of the style thanks to the now legendary No New York compilation by Brian Eno, which featured nearly all of the most important bands in the genre's history. No-wave music pulls from everything from funk to punk to jazz to avant, and while much of the point of the genre is to make something sonically unique, the fact of the matter is there are a handful of elements that run through the music of nearly every band in the genre's history. Within the world of no-wave music, atonal sounds and orchestrations are extremely common, as is the general tendency to place more importance on texture and rhythm as opposed to placing it on melody. These heavy, often jarring rhythms are where one can draw a direct connection to the sounds of punk rock, and in a lot of ways you can see the no-wave movement as the flip side of the post-punk movement that was going on in the UK at the same time. The bands of the no-wave movement concentrated on making form out of what seemed to be nothing more than sonic chaos, and the abrasive tones of bands like DNA, James Chance, and Lydia Lunch can never be mistaken for anybody else. It's the almost theatrical elements you can hear at play throughout bands like this, combined with the sheer noise and intensity that quickly separates them from any other band. And under the umbrella of no-wave music is pretty much the only place in music history that you can argue absolutely nothing was off limits. From screeching guitars to feedback-laden vocals to almost funk-sounding sonic assaults, though easily one of the most geographically concentrated genres in the history of music, you can see its influence all across the entire alt-rock movement of the 80s and 90s, as well as it being one of the primary influences in what would become industrial music. While a majority of no-wave bands disappeared relatively quickly, you can easily argue that Sonic Youth are the one band that brought the sound somewhere near the mainstream. And you can hear influences from countless no-wave bands across almost every genre conceivable. Over the past decade, there's been a renewed interest in the outright genius musicians that made up the no-wave movement, and a number of books and documentaries have been released chronicling the history of this unique musical style. But even all these decades later, the fact of the matter is, no band or style has even come close to the unique fury and musical approach that you find all across the music called no-wave.